Hi everyone, my name is Ayanda Mohlala and I'm so excited to be featured in Dr. Maria's Inspirational Women for the month of August. As mentioned, I am Ayanda. I am a wife to an incredible husband. I am a mother to two beautiful boys. I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend. I am anything and everything that I want to be. But what I do is I am a vice president for finance in the African region for an Austrian listed company. We are an IT company, so basically I am overseeing all the finances in the region Africa that oversees a number of entities we are operating in. I'll get straight into it. The first question is the best advice that I've ever received from my mentor and who my mentor is. So, my mentor is Brenda Matolo, most amazing woman ever. The best advice that she said when you want to breathe, it was to breathe through it, breathe through the bad, breathe through the good. Just breathe through it. I think once you breathe, put some air in your mind, you're able to think clearly. Just breathe through. What do I have to do? I don't know what I have to do. Breathe through. I know what I have to do, but just still breathe through it because, girl, my breaks, breathing for her was it's breaks to slow down and clear your mind. So, I mean, even through just I breathe through it. Whatever they did, was it gonna kill anyone? No. Then it wasn't that bad. Just breathe through it. The next question is what I would tell my younger self. Then get better. It really does get better. Bumpy, but it all works out for my good. It really does. It really has worked out for my good. So I would tell her to hold on to her faith more than anything, because the latter is definitely greater. And then when getting married, how did you know he was the one? Honestly, I don't know if I knew he was the one. I just knew that I loved him and I knew it was enough. I didn't know I needed him the way I needed him. I didn't know that he was, what I know now is that he was created for me. I was made for him. That I know now. But obviously through the years, it was just knowing what's in hand and we're gonna make this beautiful family and we're just gonna be perfect in everything. But now I know that he's definitely what I needed. He's my greatest supporter. He is the one person I know would sacrifice anything and anyone for me and my boys. So yeah, stay in your lane. What's your take? Well, I think this is definitely a lesson that many of us should learn at work, at home, and at church, and in everywhere else. You need to understand that your lane has enough for you to shine. Because I feel sometimes people wanna move into other people's lane because they think they can do better, and they feel. And I really, at work, at home, as a wife. If I allow my husband to lead, I'm able to support because I'm on my lane. At church, if I'm going to be found in every department, because you never be master of everything, chances are it'll just not end well. Then there starts being quarrels and funny things that had you been in your lane and focused on what you needed to do. So I think for me, staying in your lane is obviously something, as I said, that we learn. Most of us really need to learn to just stay in your lane and just trust that the person in the next lane will do what they have to do in order for us to get where we need to get. But this is what I need to do, and as I said, whatever is in my lane is enough for me to shine, for me to fulfill my purpose without having to jump into other people's lane. Fixing each other's crowns, my take on that. Oof, it's like my love language, because it's really being a destiny helper. At the end of the day, if you're going to help with the intentions of that person will now owe you a favor. It's not really help. In fact, that also ends up really bad, because if that person doesn't respond the way you've expected, then I look feel good to know they didn't appreciate you, they didn't do 1, 2, and 3. If they don't come through for that favor that you wanted, it becomes a problem. So fixing people's crown for the intention of them shining, and not for you to be known and seen, which we are Caesar, or as I said, to owe a favor. It's fulfilling. For me, I'm a self-proclaimed destiny helper. I intentionally want to fix people's crown, want to fix other girls, other ladies' crowns, because there's some fulfillment that I get. This thing, adrenaline rush when I'm able to mention another person's name, amongst people that make the decisions. If I'm able to suggest another lady's name in places where they are not there, it gives me some satisfaction. You are meant to step out and not fit in. Where do you start? You start where everything else needs to start. You start with God. I think understanding and knowing and believing what God says about you is the best place to start in you knowing this is not my fit. I need to stand out, and as long as you're still within the crowd, as long as you are there in the mix, know you are not where God wants you to be. If God said you're not the tail and you are the head, it means while I'm still amongst the body, the tail, I am not yet fulfilling what God wanted me. But if you don't know that, you'll be comfortable to be in that place where you are just a generalist. You're not specializing. You are not. When people think of someone to help, someone to bring a solution, you don't stand out in their mind. And that's only because you don't know what God says about you. You don't know what God has destined you to be. That's why Uzubanje amongst the people and stand out. Lastly, what's your absolute favorite Bible verse and why? It has to be Psalms 25, I think it's verse 3. It's those who trust in the Lord will not be put to shame. Humility will not be embarrassed. I remember Misha something like this to some guy, and they said the problem with Tinabazalwani is that we want everything to fit. If it goes left, it is God's will. If it goes right the way I wanted, it's what I prayed for. And that verse really kind of sums it up. If I had prayed for something and I've trusted God and absolutely believed that this is for me, invested a lot in it, and it doesn't happen, an interview, for example, I believe if I had prayed and I know this is my next level, and I've trusted God for it, trusted Him with everything, and it doesn't happen. But those who trust in the Lord will not be embarrassed. Me not getting that, it means there's something better. Are you cool? Me getting it means it was God's will and purpose for Impilo. So whatever the outcomes, I will not be embarrassed. Whatever the outcomes, as long as I trust God. The reason why you'll be disappointed with Angitolang is because being my interviewers or whatever. But it is important in everything, and that is why, as much as I would get down, be down because of how life has turned out. It is also important to understand however way my life turns out, it's gonna be for my good, and I will not be put to shame. How people are, you see how they fall. It's fine. As long as I trust God, I will fall on my trust. But thank you everyone for this opportunity, and I'm so excited that you get to hear a little bit about my story. Thank you. Hi, my name is Ayanda Mohlala. I am a wife, I am a mother, I am a sister, I am a